Well, let's talk now to Andrew Lane, Chairman of the National Pharmacy Association and a pharmacist as well. Where do you believe the delays are, Mr. Lane?
Well, it's interesting. We're not really linked into the reason for any delays. I think where we've come from, particularly across the network of 11,400 community pharmacies across England, that we're here, we're trained, we're ready to deliver. What we really want to see is a slight change in the strategy, picking up what everybody's said recently, that now we've got the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine coming, and even if there are slight delays for whatever reason in that, there's no justification in our eyes for limiting access to sites that can only deliver 1,000 vaccinations a week, or that operate 7 days a week. So it's really, we try to just promote the fact that we're here. If the government wish to expand the range of pharmacies that can operate in this area, then we're right behind that. But we would really like to make sure that we're included right across the piece for the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine rollout. Some pharmacies have been...
Sorry to correct you, but it must be enormously frustrating for, as you say, you've got people who are trained, you've got people who are ready and willing, you've got people who've actually got the facilities in terms of the space in which to do this, yet they're not being given the vaccine.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the sites that will be going live next week, some of the pharmacy sites that will be going live next week are part of the mass vaccination sites. I think what we're now saying is we need to be ready to roll that out across the smaller sites, so the 11,500 pharmacies that are across England. Many of them, and the majority of them, already partake in the flu vaccination programme. So we've seen a record flu vaccination campaign, and we've delivered on that this season. We're ready to go into the next phase of COVID vaccination, and I think that's incumbent on the ministers to make sure the operational structures are there. We've got don't forget, we've got a chill chain that distributes to all 11,500 pharmacies twice a day. And it had no problem delivering several million flu vaccines to the network. And we've even gone conservatively and said that even if we ramped the next phase up to 20 vaccines a day, that equates to over 500,000 vaccines a week. So that's over a quarter of the target of 2 million a week. So we can really deliver on this, and I think that message we want to get across is we're here, we're trained, and we will deliver.
Why do you think the government isn't taking you up on it? I mean, is it because Covid-19 is a different kettle of fish to the flu, for example? It is a much more risky disease. Is that part of the government's reasoning, or what reasons have you been told that they are not appearing to embrace small pharmacies taking part in this?
We haven't really been given much operational detail as to why those reasons are there. We believe that by using the limitations of the Pfizer vaccine to model the delivery of the AstraZeneca vaccine, they may be involving or introducing unnecessary bureaucracy and barriers to the rollout. So in effect, planning to fight the last campaign, which is the nemesis of any military planner. And of course, we are at war with this virus, which is changing rapidly, as we know.
Is part of the issue the fact that you need to keep an eye on people after they've had this jab, that they need to be sat down and watched for about a quarter of an hour in case they have a negative reaction to it? We've heard anecdotally from lots of surgeries that is the issue, because they're having to find space to put the people who've had the jab. Would that be an issue in pharmacies? Because, of course, you don't have to do that after the flu jab, do you?
Actually, for the flu jab, and I've been involved in that myself personally, we're all trained in anaphylaxis, so it's normal clinical procedure to make sure that the patient doesn't leave your consultation room until they are ready and able and gone through a period of observation. Now, currently, there is a period of observation which is slightly longer, as you described, for particularly the Pfizer vaccine, where there have been some allergic reactions to it. Obviously, moving through the much easier storage of the AstraZeneca vaccine, it will become more akin to giving the flu jab. And we don't believe there's any major clinical obstacles in certainly the community pharmacy network being able to deliver on this.
Do you think it's possible without smaller pharmacies that the government will be able to reach the targets it set itself for the delivery of these vaccines?
We certainly don't believe they can. That's something that we'd rather be ready. It'd be great if they can. It'd be great if they deliver on the numbers that we're talking about at the moment. But based on the complexities of the Pfizer vaccine and moving, like I just described, to the more easy to administer AstraZeneca vaccine, then I think we will find that that by mobilizing us, we will get through more people more quickly. And if you just take the Israeli model as well, they are one of the world leading vaccinators at the moment. They actually broke down the Pfizer trays of vaccines into around about 200 slots, and they distributed that across a much wider network. So, we just need to look at the strategy. We're here to work with government to make sure that we're involved in the loop. We can help with the operational delivery of it. We can help with the logistics of getting it out there to all the pharmacies through the chill chain that we have through the existing wholesale network. So we've got an existing system that works for flu, and we're just kind of saying, part of the model should be developed around that as well.
Okay, Andrew Lane, the Chairman of the National Pharmacy Association, thank you very much for joining us.
No, thank you. You're welcome.